All right, now what's going on, guys? It's your boy Asnat Zoo, and I want to welcome you guys to another show, another live stream. Today's episode is going to be specifically about the 50 more trucks that are on hold in California. So it seems to me that these guys have initiated Operation Mass Fatality. Now, after 142 people have died in the past 24 hours, the number of nationwide virus cases are rising tremendously. So I want you guys to join the room. Everybody that have joined the room, I need y'all to subscribe, like and share this video. If you guys would like, you guys are more than welcome to call in to the screen and we can talk about this. Like, what is going on here? I hate the fact that I get viewers and then they don't never stay in the room. But when you got crazy mother lovers, y'all tune in to that. But y'all don't tune in to this. Like, it's retarded, bro. Terrible. But I want you guys to take a look at some things. I'm gonna go ahead and start screen sharing. But I want you guys to go ahead and take a look at some things that are interesting. And before we do that, I want to be Fair Use Act. Hold on, I want to show the disclaimer of the Fair Use Act because I do not want them to pull my video for any unconcerned reason. This is a fair use. The conference on fair use. Okay, let's do this. All right, so I'm gonna share screen with you guys. I want to be able to talk with you guys, so I'm gonna share the audio as well. Thank you for joining the stream, the live stream. If you guys want, you can join the stream. Copy and paste the link that's in the chat into your web browser, and you should be able to join. Thank you. Good morning. And this is a great way to start your waking day. We're talking about. I want you guys to take a look at inside of the LA County Morgue. Now, if you're not, I want to make it sure if you're not over the age of 18, please skip this video, skip this live stream. But if you are and you're willing to look at some things and might learn some things that's disturbing, please continue to watch. All right? Fair Use Act is in play. I'm just a blogger sharing information that is all over the internet already. But for my fans, I take it upon myself to do the research and deliver it as I deliver it. Sit back and enjoy the show. There's just one thing Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that looks like a freezer full of dead people, and there's a guy.
History is in the making. Right here today, I am the director of the most brutal film of all time.
What in the world?
And I am in the crypt at the LA County Coroner's Office. First time, baby. First time in cinema history the director has ever been interviewed in this crypt of homicides, suicides, car wrecks, and every other horrific fatality in Los Angeles, California.
This man.
They just picked this body up at a hotel downtown LA. Obviously, they don't check the rooms too often to see how people are doing that stay there. Body's in advanced stages of decomposition. Are the maggots yet?
No, I haven't seen them.
They'll be coming soon. A lot of them end up just like this. They've been dead for several days. Nobody's found them. So it's our job to determine time, manner, cause of death if possible. About 10,000 bodies a year come through here.
10,000 bodies a year, baby. Go right through.
Y'all gonna hear that 10,000 bodies, bro.
Through these very doors. And the demon's playground, is here now.
Your body comes in here onto this scale. It's placed on a cold stainless steel table. Put on this scale, weighed. From there, we're going to measure you, see how tall you are. What we're trying to do now is just gather information. We'll be checking color of hair, eyes, facial hair, different things like that to put on your card over here. This is an example of what a green card looks like. You've got your name, your sex, your race, your birthday, all of your pertinent information like that. And from here, we're going to make you a toe tag and assign you to one of our crypts. All right, from here, we're going to take you down the hall. We're going to do an ID photo. We need to see, or preserve, I should say, exactly what you look like when you arrived here. So your body, which is going to be on one of these tables like this. We push you under this wide-angle camera right here. That way we can see the entire body. We'll unwrap you. Because in case of anything down the road, maybe a family member will have maybe there's some jewelry or something, or something comes up. We want to be able to show exactly what you look like when you arrived here. From there, you're going to come in here. You'll see one of the attendants now. You're going to be what's called live scanned. We take your fingerprints. These fingerprints are sent to the FBI within a few minutes. If you're on record, we will know exactly who you are. The computer will either give her a green light for okay or tell her that it's not. That looks pretty good. All right, from the live scan machine now, your body will be rewrapped in plastic in a sheet. You're going to be placed in this crypt until your number comes up for autopsy. All right, this is where you're going to be placed. As you look around and you see bodies on tables, if you see anybody who's wrapped in plastic with ropes, these bodies have already been autopsied. Anything that doesn't have a rope on it, such as these, waiting to be autopsied. The body count today is 400.
Damn.
That's about average. On any given day in this facility, we'll process 20 to 25 people. The bodies on the shelves are a little bit oversized. We only allow bodies up to 220 pounds to be placed on these shelves. If you see them over here, they're over 225. So moving through the crypts, this is the center, much like the front. Again, it's kept at a constant 45 degrees, which isn't freezing, but it's enough to keep the decomposition level down.
Roger Ebert, Jack, the biggest film critic in the world, talks about nihilism, talks about chaos being hopeless, baby. Well, Roger Ebert, as I stand here surrounded by homicides, suicides, and all the brutal fatalities in Los Angeles, I ask you, Jack, this is reality. This is why I have the outlook on life that I have, because this is where it all ends up.
Most of the bodies in here are homicide cases. The reason being, it's close to our X-ray and photography room, which is where all these people end up going. We also have, if you can see over against the wall, those are the baby crypts. We do lots of children here. Lots of children.
Oh, grab that photo, bro.
This particular body here weighed 600 pounds. I autopsied him 3 days ago.
300?
Every shape and size, every condition you can imagine, bodies come through here.
That nigga fatter than a
Over
bitch.
10,000 every single year.
All these people in here, they were walking around just like you are right now 24 hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're in the crypt.
Damn.
They're in the crypt. In the land of the dead.
This is the place nobody likes to come. We have, I have a body in here this week that was brought in about a week ago. It was found in a shopping cart in an alley.
What?
Cut up in a very small section, so it's already been decomposing. Put some clothes on.
That nigga say Cove Fountain in the shopping cart, bitch. What the fuck?
The body was missing the head, the hands, and the feet. Even the tattoos had been cut out.
What?
Whoever left this body doesn't want anybody to find out who it is.
Damn.
You can see the parts are small. Legs are cut up. Feet are missing. These are the arms. No tattoos. No head.
Damn.
It had been eviscerated. Every single body part had been wrapped in plastic and put in a shopping cart, all separately.
Damn.
Whoever did this appears to may have had some knowledge of the human body.
They end up in pieces, head exploded, extremities torn off. This is what it's all about. And this is what chaos is all about. The horrific part of life, the part that you don't see in movies, the part that they don't tell you about in books. Because this is the reality. This is my reality, Roger Ebert.
This is the photo lab here. Your body is undressed in here, put up against this wall over here. We photo you with your clothes on, then you're undressed, where you're bathed, any of the wounds are shaved. You're put back over here. And a series of photos is taken. Approximately one roll of film per case, depending upon the amount of gunshots, stab wounds, or whatever. Everything has to be documented.
Look around, man. This is reality, you see? This is how it all ends up. So where's the hope? And am I wrong to put that in a movie? Am I wrong to express that as an artist? Because this is where it all ends up. Or should I just make believe that this is a happy ending?
The last stop for you before the autopsy is this room here, which is the X-ray room. Basically, we need to find out where the bullets are. Okay, the X-rays you're looking at now are from a case we did recently. It was an officer-involved shooting. Sometimes we call these death by cop, suicide by cop, I should say. This guy kept coming at him, made believe he had a gun. The police said what they had to do. What you can see up here, the fragments represent bullets from a high-powered rifle, usually a .223. They're designed to frag in the body so that they don't go through him and into somebody else. Very effective, great stopping power. All of these are the tools the doctor and I will use. I've taken the liberty of writing on the board here. These will be the weights: the heart, right and left lung, liver, spleen, kidneys, and brain. And whatever else he wants to write on his findings will be on this board. Some of the tools he'll be using: 2 knives. These particular scissors here are for opening the intestines. We call it running the guts. All homicides have to have the intestines opened up. A pair of forceps, a marker, and my favorite, the blade. On any given autopsy, I will use at least 5 of these to get through the case, because they get dull quickly. So I'll use about 5, the doctor will usually use about 2. Here's my second favorite instrument. This is called a retractor. Once I make the Y incision on your chest, I grab the flesh with this hook and I begin to rip it. And cut at the same time. Well, I've got you completely open. Once I have you open, I need to get rid of your rib cage. I'll make a pattern like this right up to the clavicle on both sides, and I will cut your rib cage out. I'll take this again and use it, pull the ribs back, cut all the flesh away, and you'll be ready for autopsy.
Okay.
Last tools I need are when I do your head. I will make an incision from your earlobe to your earlobe.
Oh.
With the scalpel, I will peel your flesh back.
So
take a
like
saw,
that.
I'll cut off
So
the top of
like
your head,
that.
which is called your calurium. And then once I get your brain exposed and I get it out, I will use this to rip the dura from inside your head.
Oh.
It takes about an hour for an average autopsy. That's one without any bullets or stab wounds. From the time we open your body till the time I put you back in that crypt, it's about 1 hour.
Okay.
And we do approximately 20 to 40 here.
For everybody in the world.
The day we're closed is Christmas.
I'm David the Demon DeFalco, director of the most brutal film of all time, Chaos. And this is my good friend, Department of Los Angeles County Coroner, Michael A. Cormier, forensic technician. And Michael is the man that is responsible for helping me in what is going to be the follow-up to the most brutal film of all time, The Next Step.
Now, as you can see this is a good depiction of the LA County Morgue. How
In
they
the
get down.
succession of evil, the Devil's Doorway.
Hear it? Devil's Doorway.
And this whole project came about through my own personal experiences and the experiences of Michael with this little theory we have. And this is the theory that depicts how true evil, like the evil you saw in Chaos, one theory on how that can be manifested in a human being. Mike, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I've had this, we'll call it a theory from now, that there was a connection between demonic possession and extremely brutal crimes. And I started to notice here about 3 years ago, every time we get a case that was unusually brutal, I would check the toxicology and find out that the drug methamphetamine was involved. And you people out there who are listening to this who use meth, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not making this up. The connection is undeniable. There is a world out there, another dimension if you want to call it, of demonic beings who need access, who want access to this realm. And one of the primary ways we're seeing it happen is through the drug methamphetamine. And I was able to make the connection slowly but surely as I began to look at cases and document things, that when you are in that world of that particular drug, you're opening a door you do not want to open. Now, I'm not saying that everybody that uses is going to be a murderer or end up murdered. Everybody that smokes cigarettes doesn't die of cancer. But there's a connection there. And I've been documenting it for several years, and it's undeniable. People who use methamphetamine are opening themselves up to demonic possession and crimes that they can only not even imagine. And if you are fortunate enough to watch Dave's movie, you're going to see some of these depicted. These are going to be actual cases that came through this office. There'll be no names, no faces, but these crimes happen. And as bizarre as you might think they are, as egregiously evil as they are, it really happened. And it's happening every day in this city and cities all over the world.
This is the next step in the progression of evil. For me, it started seemingly innocent. When we originally had decided to make Chaos, the premise was to make a brutal movie, a movie that was based on the movies that inspired me as a child. Some of the 70s drive-in movies, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, for example, was one of them. Unknown to me, Chaos became much more than I ever expected. It became An exercise in true evil. Evil captured on film. The evil that you can only imagine and hope that you never encounter in life. That is what chaos turned out to be. And now the succession of things for me has led me to this new project, The Devil's Doorway, which again is going to show you how evil can come into your life. There's certain devices that you can expose yourself to that will definitely open that doorway for true evil. And that is the basis of this next horrific movie, based on the true annals
we get to realize
of the most horrific, grisly killings in Los Angeles, California.
Everybody else was really
The
doing all the
theories
things that Bobby Schmurda and
and
everybody else professed to be thinking.
documentations
The feds was like, all right, bring it on in.
Michael A. Cormier,
Not gonna lie, Bobby Schmurda
LA
took
County
a
Corn.
leap. Bobby Schmurda was on for like 3 to 4. But he
I want
took
y'all
3
to
more years
remember that
he
name
could
now.
get the gang down from
Now-
supposedly their 12, and he took
I want y'all to
7,
see what
and everybody else got 7.
old California.
Now, Roddy Rebel got 7 years, and he
unfolding in
spent it
ICUs
in
across
the
this country
Collins
tonight.
Correctional
A record
Facility.
new for hospitalizations,
And
more than
because
110,000
of him
Americans in the
taking
hospital
the
right
7
now
years,
battling
or
this
Bobby
virus.
taking the 7, that
Deaths
he
now
got 7.
soaring above
He was
300,000. We're
able to
losing
get
an
out
average of
recently
2,400
on
Americans every day now to this
85%
virus.
time served,
50
which
Americans
that's how the feds
lost
go.
every 30
Their
minutes or
parole
so.
or whatever good
Hospital
behavior.
ICUs, of course, are the
85%
epicenter of this
of
battle.
your time you
Thousands of
have
the
to
nation's
serve.
hospitals running critically low
85%
on
of
beds.
7 years
Tonight,
is
California,
6
for one,
years.
activating
So
what's
he
being
was
called
locked
a
up in
mass fatality
2014.
program.
He's getting
A
out in
morgue truck
2020. Now you
behind
might
this
be like, yo,
hospital
what
in
happened to
Whittier. They have
Bobby?
put 60
When
more
they
of
say
these
Bobby
trucks
was
on
up in there
standby.
stabbing dudes,
And some
really
ICU nurses have now been told they are in, quote, disaster mode.
Mm.
We will carefully guide you through this new report tonight from the FDA on the second.
That says mass fatality program activated. How can y'all activate a mass fatality program? That means y'all finna kill a lot of people. Not that a lot of people has died. Nah, bro. Johnson & Johnson clinical trial. Does that ring a bell? Mass fatality program to get this vaccine out.
Potential vaccine, and of course, the emergency they're now seeing in hospitals across this country. We begin here with ABC's chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman, leading us off.
Tonight, that ominous sign, 60 morgue trucks ordered on standby in California. The state activating its mass fatality program, 5,000 body bags ordered. Over the past 24 hours, at least 142 deaths.
We're going through perhaps the most intense and urgent moment since the beginning of this pandemic.
Hospitals across the state now being overrun. LA County, with a population of 10 million, now has fewer than 100 ICU beds available. The number of Americans in the hospital right now fighting COVID surpassing 110,000, a record for 9 straight days. At Providence St. Joseph Medical Center in Burbank, COVID nurses are huddling before a shift.
I want you guys to all shift your mindsets to disaster mode.
A call being repeated across the country, with nearly 1/3 of all hospitals saying their ICUs are 80% full. ICU nurse Jocelyn Schmaith has volunteered to work the COVID unit every shift for the past 9 months.
I can tell you the last 3 days here on this unit has been rough. We've emergently intubated 2 or 3 patients up here. We've, I'm talking about, comfort measures.
Yet in nearby Newport Beach, they're protesting lockdowns. This despite that Thanksgiving surge, a record 213,000 cases a day across the country. In New York, the mayor saying a full shutdown may come after Christmas.
I don't say it with anything but sorrow, but I do think it's needed.
Tonight, deaths are spiraling. The U.S. averaging more than 2,400 a day. The 7-day average increasing by nearly 70%. The Heim family is welcoming their father, John, back from the hospital, but it's a moment tinged with tragedy. Joyce, his wife of 58 years, also had COVID, and she died.
I don't want anybody else to go through what we've gone through. It's awful.
John now admits he didn't take the virus as seriously as he should have.
I think there have been points when I didn't think it was as serious as it is. Obviously, I have a different opinion now.
We've heard that from so many patients. We're glad he's getting better tonight. And let's get to Matt, who's with us live from Burbank, California. Matt, as part of that mass fatality program announced today, the governor in California is now asking for help tonight from the Department of Defense.
He's asking for 200 medical personnel from the Department of Defense, David. That as that mass.
Now, I won't say this COVID-19 isn't real, but according to the data and the statistics and what we just seen, it seems like everyone that's of age, maybe 60 or above, that's highly interactive and do things the old-fashioned way, they are the ones becoming more highly at risk to contracting the COVID-19. This is why they're trying to keep the older generation away from the younger generation, because we do things different.
Fatality program that we talked about. This is the first time it's being enacted and activated statewide. It was designed with plane crashes or earthquakes or terrorist attacks in mind, not a virus. And as for what it's like in those hospitals, one CEO in El Centro, California, telling me today 80% of the patients in that hospital are COVID positive. That is unheard of. He said it's like drinking from a fire hose. David.
All right, Matt Gutman leading us off tonight. Matt, thank you.
Hi, everyone.
I want you guys to understand what he said. Everyone is 90% affected by the COVID-19. This is unbelievable. Everybody is 90% affected by the COVID-19. Now, when it comes to that, like, I want to dig in a little bit more deeper. We'll dig in a little bit more. Okay.
Watch live and local news.
If you guys keep pushing the narrative, then the vaccine is pushed to come out faster. So
On a variety of networks. With YouTube TV. Try it free.
Well, record-breaking hospitalizations in LA County are pushing ICU capacity to the brink. And CBS 2's Cara Fincham is live this morning at PIH Health Whittier Hospital with the crises healthcare workers are dealing with. Cara, good morning.
Good morning, DeMarco. We spoke with a man who's been a nurse for about 2 decades. He said this prolonged pandemic is taking a very real toll on the hospital system.
And back in March, we maxed out at about 12 COVID patients at once in our ICU. We're now up to 23, and there are about 110 patients on our medical floors.
Andrew Lara is an ICU nurse at Whittier's PIH Hospital. He says about 90% of their COVID ICU patients are intubated on ventilators. He's worried about the stress on ICU nurses and doctors across the Southland, as well as what he tells us are shortages of certain resources.
As they become more acutely short of breath, we will put them on a device known as a high flow oxygen device. And that gives them 100% oxygen, but at a high rate of speed to force that oxygen down into their lungs. We are out of that. We don't have high flow devices because we've exceeded that capacity.
In a grim development, a hospital spokesperson confirms a portable morgue has been set up as part of their surge protocol, but stresses there is still room in the hospital morgue right now, and the trailer is not being used. Laura says his heart goes out to all the families who've lost loved ones. He says he's had to learn how to deal with death on an unprecedented scale.
We hear the Zoom calls, we hear the pleas for help, we see the desperation and anxiety, and our patients are just scared.
Laura was also recently elected to the city council for Pico Rivera. Part of the reason he ran, to raise awareness about changes he believes are needed to better prepare communities for public health emergencies. And Laura says hospital's in a very dark place right now, but those vaccines represent hope. He will be vaccinated, he says, later on this week, and he plans to be part of a public education effort to get out the word about the risk versus the benefits of being vaccinated against this virus.
Are you tired of seeing these cell phone towers everywhere? Would you like them to go away? I'm Rex Moore. If you study the history of technology and investing, an unmistakable pattern emerges. And if you want a clue about how to potentially profit from a once
Now, as you can see, they said the virus has gotten out of control, even with the vaccine on the brink of releasing. So in reality, it's as if it's basically as if they're pushing the release the virus faster. So with doing that, you have more deaths because the people that are being injected with the vaccine is showing a quick report in death. Or whatever substances they're putting in the virus to work speed the outcome, it is killing the people that they have used the last minute drug on. So their deaths have caused them to come out with something that will prevent death and most likely kill the virus as well. So in order for them to do that, they had to test the real thing on the potential infected patients, making them even sicker, and they mutated that into the cure. So I'm just sick and tired of them taking life to gain life. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I appreciate you guys who are enjoying the stream. Like and share the video. I want to see some more stuff. We're gonna go.
Grammarly does more than catch errors. With Grammarly, you can find really good, no, perfect words.
Hello and good evening. I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. Tarrant County is preparing for an increase in COVID-19 deaths. There are now overflow refrigeration units outside its morgue. Fox 4's David Santendry has more details from the county judge tonight. David.
Yes, Steve. Tarrant County Judge Glenn Whitley says conversations about bringing in refrigerated trucks outside the medical examiner's office have been going on for months. He says it's been a long time since this has happened, but that it points to these times that we are living in. Tarrant County reported 15 deaths today. It reported 13 deaths yesterday. That 15 death count today is the highest number we have seen since August. When you take a look at the footage we have, you're going to see these wooden walls that are placed up at the medical examiner's office. These are what is surrounding those trucks. The body count at the ME's office is not only related to COVID-19, but Judge Whitley says it does make up a part of it. He also says some families are slowing down the process of having a body transferred from the ME's office to a funeral home because they're waiting to make funeral arrangements in hopes that pandemic conditions will become safer. As far as these refrigerated trucks being brought in, we've seen other Texas regions take similar actions. In El Paso, morgue trucks were brought in at the beginning of November, and the National Guard was deployed to help the ME's office there process bodies. It is unclear at this time how many of these refrigerated trucks have been installed here in Tarrant County or how many bodies they will be able to hold. Judge Whitley says he has had recent conversations with the medical examiner.
I don't know that they're going to be used immediately, but I think he feels like it's better now to have them here in case they are needed as opposed to not have them here when they are needed.
We tried reaching out to the ME's office several times tonight, but we were told they were too busy. Tarrant County hospitals are hosting a combined 890 COVID-19 patients right now. That is 22%.
22%. So,
of its hospital bed capacity.
guys, I just wanted to let you guys know that that's just ridiculous how much death and how they playing with the human existence, and I just dislike it. And we really need to get it together, man. 2020 has been a heck of a year. Those of you who watch the stream, please like and subscribe. And that's all for today, folks. I'll be back on later with another one. That's I Snap Zoe with the All Seeing Show. Later, folks.